Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats? I hope you got me something to eat. Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party. I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party. Oh, chocolate and dabbing, maybe some microphone grabbing at the after party. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. We have some special guests in the house today. Omega, who's been here for the last couple of weeks, is here in his favorite costume, I guess. Is that your favorite one, or?
I have another one, but I wore that one yesterday while I was playing D&D.
I thought you had a different color. Didn't you have like a?
No, I just had blue.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Science, is that why?
Yeah. I'm a science nerd.
And we have Lance from Geek Drums in the house with a broken monitor.
Yeah.
How did it happen? How did you do it?
I think it happened in the move because the LCD screen is coming out of the base.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it happened during the move, and the crack is just now starting to spread. It was probably super small, and I couldn't see it. But when I came home yesterday, it was just like shattered in the corner. So
wait, so it's just like spreading, like it's cracking more?
Yeah, it's cracking more, and I can see it like in the screen, like towards the top, looking at my Apple logo. It's like that, like when your LCD is about to go out.
Right.
So, hopefully they'll they say my warranty should be cool. You know how Apple is with stuff.
I mean, you'll probably have to send it off, and they'll have to give you a replacement until it comes back. That's usually the way it works, right?
Yeah, because I don't even know if they'll be able to like fix it in replace it in store and hand it right back to me.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm already planning on them keeping it. I still have my MacBook, so I just have to be. I'm just planning on making my content from there for the week. But I'm getting a regular backup computer.
No offense to Apple, but I've noticed that their screens seem to crack super easily compared to other stuff. I don't know why.
Isn't it with the 15 that they actually? I've heard they lowered the price for their screen replacement, but the 15 screens not as good as it used to be.
You could throw like a $10 Android out of a plane and the screen will not crack. But if you drop a $2,000 like iPhone, it's immediately shattered.
Yeah.
The amount of friends I have with completely just destroyed iPhone screens it's too high.
Yeah, honestly. I used to do tech support for Apple. It was not fun.
Hey, what's up, Email Thomas in the house, Team Airrick member. We also had 3Dub Edits is upgraded, it looks like. Thank you so much, 3Dub. We have a comment from Multi-Topic Talk, who I don't think is here. Wait, maybe you are. I can't wait to see who will join you today. I'm not the biggest fan of Gen V, but I think surrounding discussions about the whole show are very interesting. It's going to be our last topic. So if you're not watching it, you'll be able to watch the majority of the stream. We have Darren. Hey, what's up, Darren? Came out of the pipeline to say hello.
Hey, Darren. I'm not paying you this week.
Oh, there we go. Thanks for streaming. I really need distraction from all the shit going on in the world. Yeah, it's every day there's just dumb shit happening and awful shit happening, and this is why I love doing these podcasts and try to keep all the IRL stuff out of it as much as possible, because I feel like people get bogged down by it. Naruto, I see your super chat there about Gen V. We're gonna save that if you don't mind till the Gen V topic. But it's there. I've got it saved, bookmarked. Hey, Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf just got off work. Well, there you go. I got to go to work tonight, so we have different priorities there. All right, let's see. Taj is in the place.
I didn't even do it on purpose. I already feel bad. It's an eyesore. I was recording a video yesterday, and I just kept looking in the corner like, Jesus.
Yeah, no. It's like when you have a hangnail and you just, as soon as you notice it, that's all you can notice is you have that hangnail. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to go through 3 quick news stories, and then we'll get to the shows. The first one is Superman and Lois. Now, this isn't like breaking news. We knew that one of the major writers had been let go. They told us on Twitter, they were like, "Oh, just letting everybody know I'm not coming back." But they're cut down by like 40% now. Apparently, they were 8 people on the team, and now they're down to, I think, 5, almost 4 writers at this point. I'm not sure how this aligns with what's going on with the writer strike, because I thought they were expanding writers' rooms, but I guess this show wasn't covered under that. Or they maybe, I don't know, because they have less episodes.
It's Next Star's budgetary thing. That's what it all comes down to. It's how they're budgeting with, I guess, along with reducing the cast, and it's just not Superman and Lois. It's All American Homecoming. So Walker and the original All American are fine, but All American Homecoming and Superman and Lois, along with having to reduce their cast, they also have to reduce their writing rooms. So it's like both of these shows, they ended on really, really, really big cliffhangers, like both of them did. And I know for All American Homecoming, I saw a lot of fans. My wife's one of them, who's like, she's like, I don't even want to watch it anymore, because not only is your male lead leaving, so we know what's gonna happen. Another cliffhanger tied to another character of the show, she's leaving too. So it's like, what are you doing at this point, CW? Next Star, you're alienating fans.
We know what they're doing. Look, I still believe that in like the next 2 years, the CW will not exist.
Yep. And they talking about they bringing in 2 new original shows, and you bring back two actors that were on the CW previously. I'm not even gonna say I don't.
Why
think,
did
I know
you get
nobody's
rid of
gonna
the shows
watch
you
that.
had if you're just gonna bring people back?
That's my biggest question, and it's so dumb.
Cody's spitting just pure facts here. It is 100%. Because the problem is that, look, I still think the show is going to be better than most of the shows on the CW, simply because it's just almost impossible for it not to be. But we already know we're getting a massive delay. We're probably not going to see Superman and Lois until fall of 2024. To be honest, I know Canada Graphics isn't here, but I talked to him about it, about the filming process or whatever. He says they're probably not even going to start filming until after the holidays at this point, because it's too close to the holidays. So they won't even go into filming until after January 1st. And we know how long it takes to film episodes of Superman and Lois. Yeah.
The CW doesn't care.
We know how bogged down Superman and Lois is with delays when it comes to putting episodes out. We know that. So there's no way they're going to start filming in January and have stuff ready to go by like February or March. It's just not going to happen. I would say at the earliest, we're looking at like late summer. That's what I think, personally. So yeah, it does suck, because that was one of the shows that I was like really waiting to come back. Like, we've lost so much over the last 3 years. I was waiting for that show to come back. I mean, granted, if you love Star Trek, you've been eating good, because Star Trek has been like putting out so much stuff. Like Paramount's just like writing blank checks for Star Trek at this point.
Okay, wait till Strange New World season 2.
Yeah, so they're writing blank checks for it. And
season 3, actually.
Season 3. So right here, Cameron says the actor strike is still going on. The writer strike has been resolved, but the actors have, so they can't film without. Right, and to talk about that for a moment, they're working through the weekend with the actors to try and get something resolved, because they came out and said that if they can't get this fixed within the next couple of weeks, it's a wrap for the 2024 season. Literally, they can't film anything and have it out by the 2024 season.
But I saw one of the, person that's a part of the Writers Guild. They said, stop listening to the tabloids, because the AMPTP tried to use the same scare tactic on the writers. And when that happened, they got the deal that they wanted that same week. They want to be able to get this deal with the actors done at least by November 1st. And by them saying that, they were gonna take a break on Wednesday just to, mull over what was given to them and go back into negotiations. They went Thursday to Friday, then saying they're gonna keep going into the weekend. I have a good feeling. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but I have a good feeling. I feel really optimistic about this because the last time the studios just said, screw it, we're not doing anything. You can go.
I honestly believe that they will come to some sort of agreement in the next 2 weeks. I think we're going to see an agreement signed in the next couple weeks. And the reason why is because if you look at the state of movies right now, it is very clear that the actors not promoting the movies is hurting the movie sales. Like most of the movies coming out are tracking very, very low.
What movies are even coming out?
Well, we have Marvel's coming out, which comes out in 2 weeks.
My theater is still empty.
Yeah, that one is getting no promotion, and I know people like, oh, I see it on Twitter or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I've had this argument before. Social media promotion isn't the same as proper promotion.
Yeah, they just get some social media company or some marketing company. They just put out tweets, and that's about it.
Proper promotion is like getting the covers of magazines and doing full interviews and having the cast go on to talk shows and doing red carpet premieres and propping this up before other movies. That is proper promotion. Tweeting out stuff is not proper promotion. That is the bare minimum you can do. Trust and believe that social media promoting, 80% of it means nothing. It means nothing. I've been doing this for a really long time. Like if I put out a tweet for like our live stream, like a fraction of people see it. Social media promotion is nothing.
It's kind of like you scroll through. It's like, okay, ad, okay, bullshit, ad, bullshit, titties, ads, ad. Like, who cares? Like,
I honestly don't think that the movies are going to be bad, but I just don't think they have a lot of promotion. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with Wonka and a lot of these other movies if the actors are not back by then.
I forgot that was even coming out.
But some people were smart. Dune got pushed. They were like, we're not doing this. Dune got pushed. They were smart.
Aquaman got pushed by 2 days.
I know. I saw that. What was it, like 2 days?
But that's smart though, because why did W say, hey, let's release it on a Wednesday? People aren't gonna go see it.
Yeah,
that wasn't smart in the first place. People got to work.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Defunct? So, 3Dub says, I saw your post about the stream. I have to be a fraction that saw it. Look at your analytics. I'm not kidding you. Go into your person. Like all these sites give you options to look at your analytics. Go in and look at them. I'm not saying something that's not true. It absolutely is true. Laura here says House of Dragons 2. Yeah, there are some shows that did finish production that will come out on time, but all the stuff that was like scheduled to come out is being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I'm looking now because Dune's release date been pushed back to March 15th of next year, and it's supposed to be released in November.
There's movies that were supposed to be out next year that got pushed back even further, and one of those was Snow White. Snow White got pushed back until 2025, and let's look at the picture. I want to share this picture here. Oh God, right here. It's the one with the dwarves or whatever. Let's be clear here. I don't think there was any way they were going to win with this. To be honest, I mean, if they would have made it regular sized adult people, you're going to have people complaining. If they would have used little people, you would have people complaining. So they're using CGI animated characters. People are complaining. This movie should, I'll be honest, I don't think they should have ever even made this.
This should have never been a thing.
I feel like you can't make everybody happy with this one. This one feels like it's a trap.
And
basically.
Another thing, Disney, make new stuff, make new movies. Holy shit.
You know, I've talked about this before. The reason why they keep doing this is every once in a while, one of these movies will do over $1 billion. That's why they do this. Like every once in a while, one of these live action movies will break $1 billion. So they keep taking shots at it because it's so financially beneficial for them.
That and probably something to do with copyright. If they don't do something with that, there's so many years that's going to go into public domain. And I think Snow White, because especially a lot of their older stuff is probably very close.
Well, Snow White is kind of public domain already. I believe you can use Snow White, but you can't call it just Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because that's Disney's. But you can do like Snow White and the Dragon or Snow White and something else. Like you can name it something else. But
I don't like the way this looks at all.
I don't think this is. you were never going to make everyone happy with this one. This feels like a pointless remake, to be honest. And look, Rachel Zegler, unfortunately, is getting harassed online by idiots because they don't like that she wants to do a different version of Snow White. These are the same people complaining when they thought Snow White was not going to have the dwarves in it, because they're like, oh, it's going to be just human beings of normal size.
That was going around.
Yeah. And they've talked about it, and I can't tell you the amount of times that I just cannot believe the ecosystem on YouTube of people talking about this movie so heavily. Like dudes like us sitting on camera, totally spending day after day after day talking about fucking Snow White.
Some kids movie, like, bro.
Let me rephrase that. Fucking Snow White. That sounded bad. Talking about Snow White.
I mean, I've seen those.
I don't want to get clipped out of context, but no, it's just an endless amount of like Snow White stuff from guys that don't even care about Snow White.
Grown ass dudes like our age just complaining that, like, bro, this is a kid show. Who cares? It looks stupid. Don't watch it. Who cares?
I mean, it's just weird. It's weird. Also, some of the people that said that they should have just CGI'd the dwarves are now mad that they're CGIing the dwarves because they just want to be mad about the whole thing.
And plus, this picture looks the picture they released, it does indeed look terrible. It looks like concept art, but it's
unfinished. Look, here's my honest opinion on this is that they filmed this with people, like real human beings. Then they decided after putting it all together that it wasn't working. So they're going to go back in and do these CGI dwarves to fix it. That's why it's getting pushed back a whole year. That's what I think. That's what I believe. I think that's what's happening. They looked at it. They didn't like the end result, so they're going to change it up. Because this right here looks extremely unfinished, right? Am I right in saying that? Yeah. This looks very unfinished to me.
I thought it was concept art until I seen people talking about this is the real first look. I'm like, it is. All right. I guess. Yeah. I'm not going to see it, but...
Yeah. I'm not that huge a fan of Disney anyway, so...
if my kids want to see it, I'll go, but I highly doubt they'll be interested in...
Yeah, just go watch the original cartoon from like the 60s or whatever.
Yeah. I'll say this though: there's been a million Snow Whites. I mean, you watch any of them. There's so many of them. Mm-hmm. But my point is with this one, I don't think anybody's really checking for Snow White anyway. So all the channels that are talking about it are just giving it more promotion than what it already had. I also don't think them changing anything has anything to do with those channels that are arguing about it. I think they honestly looked at it and said, "Yeah, this looks terrible. We need to change it up and do CGI." Dwarves. And look, they did it in Wonka. The Oompa Loompas are CGI. Yeah. So
I didn't care much. It wasn't terrible, but I just didn't care much for it. I like the original better.
I mean, I might talk about it again if we get more news about it, but I'll be honest, I don't really care about Snow White. So I don't have much to say about it, honestly. Okay, last thing before we get to our shows here is that there's an official showrunner for Daredevil. It's Dario Scartapane, who was the showrunner for, I believe, Daredevil, or was a writer for Daredevil. I don't know if showrunner, writer, not totally sure. Anyway, they are the first official showrunner for any of the Disney Marvel shows. That's wild. That is wild to me that these shows were going on for so long without showrunners.
Wait, what?
So basically, the movie directors they were bringing in to do the Marvel shows did not have showrunners.
That explains Secret Invasion. All right.
Yeah. Like I said last show, that's Secret Invasion. What else? The guy with the bow and arrow,
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye wasn't that great. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't amazing or anything.
That explains
all those shows
much.
have been so bland at best.
It's because there was nobody coming up with a season-wide story. They were trying to connect everything to movies. That's the problem. Look, I like some of them, and I think that formula does work for some of the shows. But as a fan of the Netflix shows, the majority of the Netflix shows that came out and the TV shows that came out, I think having a showrunner is extremely important because they're going to give us a season-long story that makes sense, that is written like a TV show. Because the biggest issue is I think Marvel was trying to sidestep hiring people that knew how to make TV and replace them with movie directors. And essentially, yes, visually you're going to get these big shots that look like movie shots, but the actual seasons of TV shows are just not well put together. This is a win. Like, this is a good thing that they're doing this. So I'm looking forward to it.
And they hired I know they hired 2 directors from Loki season 2.
Yeah, because Loki's about the only good thing coming out of Marvel TV shows right about now.
Yeah.
Yep. Email says, I'm very excited for Daredevil. I hope these changes will provide beneficial so we can get some quality. I think we will. This is going to feel more like the Netflix shows, which I think a lot of people were hoping. I cannot see a world where that Daredevil series without this change would have been better. And I think they know that.
Yeah. Didn't they also confirm that this is in no way connected to the Netflix show?
Right. So Kevin Feige came out and said that everything that's ever come out live action from Marvel is considered part of the multiverse. And that all of it is canon to the multiverse.
Oh, so multiverse it.
Yeah, so this Daredevil that we're seeing is the Daredevil from our universe. The one from Netflix was part of a multiverse version, but there's going to be some similarities, which is why it's a soft reboot.
At least they look alike.
No, it's kind of like I just saw South Park Pandaverse earlier today, and some of what they were saying is starting to ring very clear. It's like, oh, they just making a multiverse just to make an excuse up for bad writing, whatever.
No, I think they're doing a multiverse because they want the IP is popular. That's why. Yeah. Like think about this: if you're going to do Daredevil and you're bringing back the main actor. That's money. That's printing money, basically. You know what I mean? Like, think about this. She-Hulk's most popular episode was the episode with Daredevil in it. Yeah, that was the one that everybody talked about.
It was the one and the only good ones.
So I don't think it's just. I think it's more about like them worrying about making money. I mean, again, I'll go back to saying this. Everything these companies do is about trying to maximize money. That's why I think adding showrunners to Daredevil for whatever reason is a plus for us because that's actually costing them more money in the long run. So they're actually spending money to make it better, which is really, it's unusual.
Yeah, they're actually spending money to make a good product. Oh my god, what a concept.
Naruto here with a $5 super chat goes, just curious, what is covered under Snow White copyright?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I'm gonna assume their copyright is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm gonna assume that's their copyright because that's the one they keep using. Because there's been like Snow White and the Huntsman, Snow White and the Evil Queen now with the Daily Wire thing. So I believe theirs is just Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, if I had to go out on a limb. I could double check later on, but I do believe that is their particular copyright is that. Because again, I think Snow White, the character, is public domain. Like you can put Snow White in anything. If I like, you could do a Mortal Kombat and have Snow White in Mortal Kombat if you wanted. Not that anybody would do it, but you could probably.
I don't know, they might.
That would probably be kind of dope, though.
Yeah, like her fatality, have all the Seven Dwarfs just
look.
Beat the shit out you.
I said I would love it if they would, because if Disney would have done Snow White and made her like an assassin for hire or something, that would have been crazy.
Kind of like what they did with Blood Red Riding Hood and
yeah, something along that line. I would have been down for that totally. Has anybody watched Five Nights at Freddy's? Just curious.
No.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Horror's not really my thing.
Everyone I've talked to has said unless you love that game, the movie is awful. So
I like the first 2 games. That's about it.
I'm watching it tomorrow, so I'll see. It's on Peacock. I'm not going to go to the theaters because I'm not really that. I don't care about it that much, but it's on Peacock for free, so I'll watch it tomorrow.
That works.
But yeah, I've heard that unless you love the games, you're going to hate the movie. So I don't know what that means, but I guess I'll figure it out when I watch it.
There's probably a lot of references that just don't make sense. Or probably a lot of jump scares that's, they did that from the game. And somebody who hasn't played the game's like, what's going on?
All right, we got this super chat, and then we're going to jump into Loki. So Staggervore499 super chat. Do you think James Gunn DCU will end before it begins if Warner Brothers ends up merged with NBC Universal? That's a good question. In my honest opinion, I think James Gunn has a very big uphill battle with this DCU. DC movies aren't doing anything right now. And Marvel might be hit or miss, but DC is just miss. Well, I mean, if we're looking...
The only hits that really had was Peacemaker and... one of the Suicide
Peacemaker
Squads?
Was a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about just strictly movies?
The Suicide Squad movie bombed.
Oh, really? Never mind.
That movie bombed. It was a great movie, but
I thought that was all right. Okay, yeah, financially, if it bombed.
Keep in mind, the most profitable movie for Warner Brothers DC since Aquaman 1 is Black Adam.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
the hierarchy of power did indeed change after that movie came out. So,
and now he's doing Moana.
Right, exactly. So it's not looking good for them. And we have Aquaman coming up in December. That movie's kind of dicey. I'm hearing mixed stuff about it. James Wan came out and said the reshoots were inflated. So
that's not good.
No, I mean like the reports of it being big or inflated. He was saying it was only like a few days of reshoot. So
okay. I thought it said they did like the budget was inflated. I was like, oh,
no.
Okay.
Well, the budget was definitely inflated because they did do reshoots. But the thing is, he's saying that it was only a few days, but most of the trade said that it was like extensive reshoots. So I don't know. Also, I think he said that there was Batman footage that was filmed, but that was only under the assumption they were going to do something with Batman. I guess that's not happening now. It's a mess.
Yeah,
DC is a fucking mess.
They wanted to wait and see where they were going to be released at, so they can know where they're at within the timeline.
Just talking to my brother, we were even saying, just discussing about just very things. Like, I don't know what the hell DC's doing.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess. Cody here with the super chat. This is about Daredevil. They legally wouldn't be allowed to call it season 4 anyway. It's going to get an A- on Cinema Score for what it's worth. Oh, okay. I think there were some legal issues with calling it season 4. So, I mean, look, essentially, if you watch the Netflix shows, the way it seems to me, since they've got somebody from Punisher coming in, it's going to have the same vibe as the Netflix show, but we're going to have different characters. Because I know they've gotten rid of a few characters. By the way, getting rid of Foggy is a travesty. Like, he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he was a great character.
On the show. So, really, really sucks for me. All right, so let's start out talking about Loki. This week's episode was the episode where Victor Timely is back at the TVA. Ouroboros is trying to fix the problems. And there's a bunch of other stuff happening in the This is kind of just a TVA episode, which is fine. We also got the wraparound to the episode 1 where Loki is there in the future, seeing what's going on. And I pretty much knew this was going to happen. This episode, I'm like, this has got to be where Loki popped in when he was dealing with his issues in episode 1. And I'm seeing a lot of people that did not like this episode as a whole.
Really?
I thought it was a really well done episode, to be honest,
absolutely.
but some people were mad about it. I don't know. So Ouroboros and Victor Timely meeting was really cool. Having him see Victor and Victor
I based my inventions off of you. It's like, no, I based my book off of your stuff, and it's kind of like this whole circular thing.
He said it's like a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah,
this whole chicken and the egg thing, which came first.
And it's paradoxal stuff, which I love it, but it makes my head hurt. It reminds me of season 3 of The Flash with Savitar and Barry Allen. Just everything is a paradox. But so we're dealing with that. So we're just supposed to go with it. That's fine. Victor Timely. By the way, Jonathan Majors, what do you guys think of his performance of this version of Kang?
I love it. I just, like I said Tuesday, I love how he can give us such different characters, but it's all the same person, and it's so effortless. Like we went from seeing him as He Who Remains, and then seeing him do Victor Timely. Like, he switched on a dime. Like, and especially since this one is supposed to be like this, like basically the man who'll sell you snake oil back in the day, but it's like he's basically just trying to figure out life. Con man, he's killing this role. Like the way he talks, like the cadence in which he speaks, the voice he's using. I would not be surprised if, like, the way he was trying to play Ravonna in them, like, I'm like, dude,
you think he's kind of like this? Yeah, you think he's like this nerdy dude, just not really sure what he's saying, stumble over his words all the time, but he's playing them like a fiddle.
He's a charlatan. Like, that's all it is.
Look at this, Lance. Kang is the Harrison Wells of the MCU.
He is. we had the Council of Kangs. We got the Council of Harrison.
I have to say, from an acting standpoint, it's got to be amazing that each project you're in, you're playing a different version of a character. I think that's really cool. Also, we don't know what's going to be happening. Apparently, there's some drama about them trying to frame the woman that made the accusations against him and all this other. I don't know what's real anymore. There's so much news about Jonathan Majors. It's become like convoluted.
It's not that. It's not that. That she was because she was indeed the aggressor,
Yeah.
but apparently he also did some aggressing as well. So they
Right.
still want to see him. I think at the end of the day, he's still gonna because he can face like up to a year in
Right.
jail. But I think at the end, he's gonna come out relatively unscathed from all of this. Hopefully, because if we have to go through with a recast of Kang,
Yeah, I'm out.
God.
Let me tell you right now, I this is my prediction. If he is found guilty, they will recast. If he does any kind of jail time, they will recast. If he's not found guilty, they will not touch it. They'll let it just continue on with him in the role. Whether people appreciate that or not, I don't know. But I do believe that that is the way Disney is going to handle this, because the truth is, if they really felt like he had done something wrong, they would have just not put the season out yet.
Yep.
Or they would have changed and reshot all these scenes. However, he gets turned into spaghetti like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
When they
Why is that the first thing that came out of my mouth when it happened? I said, "Oh, Reed." Oh, and first of all, I felt so bad for him in that moment because he was so selfless. He said, "I'll do it." You said somebody could die when it happened, so
I'm under the impression that he knew that was going to happen. That's what I think. I think he knew it, and that's why he sacrificed himself. That's what I believe, because he seemed very sure about doing this, and I think he knew in his mind, calculating it, that there was a high risk of him dying. And because
I had this whole theory going on, is like saying, okay, he's the he who remains he's basically the Kang of this timeline, which he's, like I said the last show, so he's gonna make this timeline the sacred timeline. But all that thinking and theorizing and theory crafting and everything just went right out the window.
Somebody said, couldn't they just go back and get him? Couldn't they go back and get him again?
They could. But that also makes me wonder, because yes, in the comics, Victor Timely is like just another alias that he's using. But we see that he grew up as Victor Timely in the 1800s in Chicago, in my hometown. So I'm wondering, does Nathaniel Richards even exist?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea.
It's so
at this point, I have no idea.
That threw me off because everybody was saying, "Oh, that means Reed Richards or somebody in Sue's bloodline, they got to be black." Yada yada yada. Not if this Kang is not Nathaniel Richards at all.
Right.
It's just Victor Timely.
I want to point out that at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, when they showed the Kangs in the arena, there were Kangs that looked like lizards. There were Kangs that looked like aliens. That, like, I'm assuming that we're going to see variants of Kang that are not him, that are not Victor Timely, that are going to be other people from other, like, I mean, I just assumed that because some of those Kangs didn't look anything like a human. If you go back and you watch that scene,
I think it was a Skrull Kang.
Yeah, I mean, technically.
Don Cheadle will be the new Kang the Conqueror. But plot twist, it's the Skrull version of Rhodey pretending to be Kang.
Can we talk for a second before we move on about how quickly the rise to fame for Jonathan Majors turned into just nothing overnight? I mean, this was a man who was on the cover of a bunch of magazines. He was getting interviews everywhere. He was being touted as the next big it person in Hollywood. And
that's how they get you.
Yeah, they messing with the white women. No, I'm sorry. I'm playing. White men, I love you. Call me.
They're going to be hitting you up now. They're going to say, "Why did you say that about me?" They're going to go off with you on Twitter. You're going to get a bunch of hate mail.
I mean, but that's true though. But that's true though. Like I said that, I'm like, dang. And since they still want to, I really hope he comes out on top. Since they still want to take him to trial. He has money. All right. I'm sure he's just gonna say, let me pay such and such and such. Just let me get on with my life. I'm sure he has now left old girl alone. I mean, he's been running around with Megan Good. So
if he can find a way to get out of this without doing time, that would be Marvel's, like, they would be okay with that. I think the only way that he gets recast 100% is if he goes to jail. That's the only way that happens. I mean, unless there's some other footage of him doing something that we haven't seen yet. But I don't think so. I don't think there is.
It should be.
Wait, I got how they fix it. I just got it. The last time we saw Terrence Howard as Rhodey was when he said "next time, baby." What if the next time is him showing up as the new Kang?
Would you want to see Terrence Howard as Kang? Let's be honest.
No.
God. I could hear him. It's the TVA, man.
So here we go. Action Pack coming in with the hot information. I don't know if this is true or not.
Here we go.
The DA is compiling a bunch of witnesses to prove he has a history of abuse. I did see that, like, we've seen stories coming out, so I knew that was out there. Majors is screwed, and he screwed himself by laying hands on a woman. So, I mean, you might not be wrong, Action Pack. You might be absolutely right, 100%. But I am seeing so many outlets with different accounts of what's actually happening that I don't know how this is going to end. But I can tell you this. When the trial starts, people are going to be hyper focused on all of this, 100%.
Either way it goes,
Denzel is as Kang.
Actually, that wouldn't be bad.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. But either way it goes, they still have. My whole thing is, and we can end it on this. The girl ran, so like she, when they were looking for her, she was nowhere to be found. So I don't know how this is gonna wrap up, but
I was gonna say the only thing I saw before that happened was the video footage of her partying in a nightclub or whatever.
Yeah, and
which was the last video footage of it.
Apartment or something.
That morning, and that's when the phone call happened. That was the last thing I heard about it. So I don't know. We're gonna look. I'm curious about the trial. I'll probably cover the trial when it happens because I'm very interested to see what's gonna go down. But we've got a little bit of time before that. So yeah,
let's just worry about the writer's strike. I mean, actor's strike. Let's hope it resolves because either way, he can't do nothing.
So this is related to what we're talking about here. Lone Wolf, who's been a member for 36 months. Thank you so much, Lone Wolf. My favorite scene was the Hope conversation. My favorite scene was the spaghetti scene where I mean, I felt bad for him, but it was visually unexpected. Like when he walked out that door,
it was like I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna do it. Just
he was like, he was like this. He's like. Oh,
I honestly, we were all sitting here watching it together, and everybody went dead silent when that happened. We were like, "What? What the?" I was like, "Wait a minute, they're going to rewind that, right? Something else is going to no. All right, I guess he's just spaghetti."
Loki comes through.
Loki's face when that happened was like he was in disbelief. I'm not gonna. I was too. I said, "Wait, that's how you end it." I said, that's what Gen V did a couple weeks ago. Stop.
Right.
Stop it.
But nah. Yeah, did y'all not see when Zane put everyone in that cube and just kept getting smaller and smaller?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with her?
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So we have I think it was Dox is her name. Isn't that Dox was the name of the leader of the Minutemen? So we had Dox and the Minutemen, which includes Zaniac. And so Ravonna and Miss Minutes after, okay, by the way, we have to talk about the bombshell, which wasn't really a bombshell to me because I kind of knew it, that Ravonna was in a relationship with He Who Remains and then had her memories wiped or whatever. Not really a super shocker to me. I felt like that was the most obvious thing that they were keeping from her. I probably would have been more surprised if it was something else, but that alone wasn't super shocking. So anyway, Miss Minutes and Ravonna come back to the TVA after, I think it was it B-15 that tried to talk them into joining them. So B-15 came in and talked to them, was like, hey, you need to join us because we want to take the TVA back, and Ravonna's coming back, and blah, 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 et cetera. They hadn't made up their mind. Basically, it was like, they hadn't really given her answer. But when Renslayer comes back, they basically like, you either side with us or something really awful is going to happen to you. And they power up that cube machine. Thank goodness it was off screen because I thought we were going to get a boys moment, a Gen V moment with that.
Yeah.
Because you could hear stuff, but you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, Disney ain't pulling no punches with this.
I was like, that's kind of dark for Disney, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to punch dude in the face because I'm like, you are such a little
coward.
Yeah, that's the word I can use.
Yeah, I know which word you wanted to use.
I said it at my TV. I said it loud too because I'm like that pissed me off. I'm like, dude, your life was not that good.
And that's what she said to him. That's what Doc said to him. Was your life really that good that you are willing to do this? And I
hate Ravonna. I hate Miss Minutes. first of all, I've never seen two.
Mhm.
I've seen women simp hard before, but Ravonna, okay, that's cool. But Miss Minutes, dude, going back to the last episode, I
Mhm.
could be your girlfriend.
I was like, what the
No!
hell?
Oh my goodness, you're a
I
clock.
loved
That
it
creeped
when
me
they
out.
disabled Miss Minutes and she started stuttering. Victor Tommy was like mad. He's like, "Why are you mocking me?" or whatever. I thought that was because he
And
doesn't
then when
understand what a glitch is. Remember,
Yeah.
he's never really seen computers, so he doesn't know what a glitch is. So she's glitching and he thinks that she's making fun of him, which I thought was hilarious.
It was so bogus though when she said, "You'll never be him."
Yeah, it just came out chat and said, "You'll never be him."
I said,
was
"Why are you so dark?" Like
She was simping to the last second, like
Mhm.
Miss Minutes down to the last second was
Yeah, when he
simping,
he was
so-
like, "Nah, I ain't with all that." She was like, "Oh,
What
you'll
did you
never-"
think when they took her back to her base model where it was just like a round, like one-dimensional, like
Yeah, just like your
clock or
ASCII
whatever.
clock.
So, yeah, it was pretty funny. So anyway, we had that happen, and then all those people were killed. And one of the things that I did not expect was the ending of the episode, and that was with the loom finally overloading and everything sort of going away. What do you think we're jumping into next episode? Because that ending was extremely vague. We don't really know what's going to happen, and there's not been any promo stuff released for the next episode. So,
and
any
they deleted
theories?
all stuff off social media too.
Yeah,
So
I have no effing clue
I have no
what
clue.
they're gonna do. Yeah.
I
I can't even
I
theorize what
explain.
they're gonna do. Maybe
Yeah.
X-Men? Huh?
that's what a lot of people said. Is they thought it was going to introduce mutants in the next episode, but they said that about season 1 of Loki. They said
Yeah.
that about WandaVision. So I don't
They
know.
said that about this entire MCU timeline thing.
Yeah,
they just said it about the Marvels too. So
yeah, but I
Um,
think that I think the preview doesn't really show anything though, right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Someone said they saw the preview. It didn't really show anything for the next episode, so maybe. Look, they're setting up Miss Minutes right here to be the season 3 villain.
Wouldn't be surprised.
it's funny since he said just watch because she's a clock.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people. I'm not going to talk about that because a lot of people here have talked about not wanting to get into that kind of stuff. So I'll try and keep it brief here.
Ooh, yeah.
There's been a lot of celebrities with some very interesting takes on all this. And I know they want to show their support one way or the other because like either they feel pressured to or their public relations are like you need to say something or whatever.
I just shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a celebrity, unless you have some sort of, I don't know, unless you've got some stake in it or you're doing it for a specific reason, randomly just throwing out political opinions without any follow up is not good.
Yeah. Well,
Not good.
at least it's not in the same thing as like what was her name? Played Cara Dune.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, it's not on that level, but it's
Well, Gina Carano also made another statement about the whole Pandaverse thing with Star Wars, and it's like one long run-on sentence for like it's like this much stuff with Ron. I'm like, y'all, what is she trying to say? It's like she can't get hired anywhere right now, so I guess she's trying to get a job or something. I don't know. All right, let's answer some super chats before we move on to the next one. We have Marion Wilson here with the $4.99 super chat. Do you think the ending is all part of He Remains plan so he can be reborn? Ooh,
possibly.
that's Marion. I never thought of that. This is
because when
interesting.
he would basically because I forgot what they said earlier, but it's like because of the time radiation, your body just completely dissolves. Like, what if he just be completely reconstituted into the timeline or whatever?
Because think about it, he helped Ouroboros with the thing to fix the loom.
Mhm.
What if that thing wasn't to fix the loom? What if he just had to hold on to it when the loom exploded and it did something to him? Because remember, he said that was made to regulate the flow of time.
Mhm.
So.
Or he like sabotaged and did his own thing and just reconstituted himself into the timeline. So he would just come back as either somebody else or somewhere else along the timeline.
What if Ouroboros is secretly working for He Who Remains and knows something that we don't know.
Yeah, because they base their technology off of each other. So
and he remember. Oh, wait a minute. He remembers stuff. He's thousands of years old and he remembers stuff. So when He Remains told them to wipe everybody's memories, was Ouroboros not wiped? Think about that.
So.
He remembers stuff. He doesn't forget anything.
What if he was talking to Ouroboros when he said wipe everybody's memories?
I gotta have to look at that episode again.
Wow.
Food for thought.
Maddie here with the 49 super chat. My theory is Loki will be stuck in a time loop. They've been teasing it a bunch on their socials throughout the duration of the show. So, yes, there was another question right here, where Andrew talks about time slipping. Will they address time slipping? And I think the reason why the time slipping was happening first and foremost is because of the issue with the loom. I think that was the problem, was the loom was allowing that to happen in the TVA. And being stuck in a time loop would be quite interesting, especially if it is a loop of that day. However, we've had some time loop stuff recently, like with The Flash and other shows where they've tried to do it, and it's not been quite as exciting as it could be. So if they do it, they need to nail it. Like, it needs to be is like basically perfect, to be completely honest. So for me, I don't mind them doing a time loop, but it needs to be right. Are you guys fans of time loops or no?
Depends on how they do it.
Okay, it has to be perfect. Honestly, if I'm being honest, the Arrowverse basically wore me out with time loops. We had the one on Legends, the one on Arrow that time. It was cool, but yeah.
I've said this before. I prefer like other dimensions, other universes, like Elseworld stuff than I do time travel. Time travel can be fun. I mean, you can do fun time travel, time loop stuff, but I like the idea of alternate versions of characters. It's always been very exciting for me to see, like, 10 different Flashes from different universes and how they function, opposed to like the Flash going back and talking to himself from 10 years ago. So we'll see how they handle that. Cody here says that was a prototype of the Time Chair Core from Quantum Mania.
Oh,
it sure was. It's a little orb thingy. Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember Quantumania, so I'm just gonna say,
I don't remember happening.
Okay, Cody, you're gonna make me do something I thought I would never do. I'm gonna have to go back and watch Quantum Mania before the next episode, so I can see.
Oh my
stuff.
god, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry you have to do that.
I'm gonna have to now. I'm gonna have to do it.
You should stream it and cry a little bit while you do it.
Cry a little bit.
All right, we have a couple super chats before we move on to Gen V. Naruto here with the $2 super chat. Hey, me and Eric are wearing the same shirt. Really? Grogu?
Why is Grogu
always have
wanted?
to represent? Because everybody loves Grogu. That's why. He's wanted.
As long as they're not trying to kill him or anything, he's too adorable for all of that.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that. Grogu is really powerful. Laura, a member for 43 months, says Major's trial start will be new depth. Yeah, I agree. I think it will.
I hope not.
I don't think it'll hit that level 100% because people did not like Amber Heard, or at least the vast majority of people did not like Amber Heard in that trial. I don't know if there's enough people that care about, in terms of celebrity status, care about both of them in that way. But it will be a trial that will be popularized and people will be talking about it. So
they're gonna make a whole Tubi movie about it.
Tubi movie. Let's not even talk about those movies. They're so bad. Somebody said I should do a video reaction to some of the scenes from those movies because they're just so bad. But I'm like, I don't know. Probably get in trouble. B-Tunes here says thoughts on CW adding wrestling to its network. Wrestling is lucrative in terms of money because wrestling fans are very loyal. They will follow wrestling wherever it goes, pretty much.
It's just I haven't followed wrestling since the Attitude Era. So,
out of everything they've tried, this is the one where I think they have a good shot at maybe bringing some people over. I'm not a fan of wrestling, but I used to watch it when I was growing up, and I do know there's people that still watch it until they're like, their 60s, 70s, whatever. So, I think it might be pretty smart. All right, Naruto, I have your super chat ready. So we're going to talk about that during this discussion about Gen V. So Gen V, we are coming up to the end of the season. I think we have one episode left. I think this was the penultimate episode if I remember correctly. And I just want to say that I think they tried to pull a Jean Grey on Kate.
Yeah.
I think Kate's a lot more powerful than we know she is. I think there's more to her than what we know. Or I feel like she's more like Emma Frost than she is Jean Grey, but they like, if you remember in the movies, they tried to suppress Jean Grey to keep her powers from coming out. That was whether you like the storyline or not, that was the storyline. But yeah, I honestly, Kate's kind of a badass. I don't know if you necessarily agree with the end resolve of her or whatever, but it's really difficult with these characters in the boys universe because they're almost always awful in some way, but then they also have like a tragic backstory. So you have to figure out whether or not you sympathize with them. But you know, it is what it is with Kate. I guess we'll talk more about her towards the end of the episode. But we have all of our characters sort of just, pretty much. So let's talk about Sam and Emma first. Let's get that out of the way. So he's hiding out in her dorm room, and she's like, "I'm gonna go get Whataburger instead of Whataburger." Pretty much Whataburger. By the way, I've never had Whataburger. Has anybody ever had that?
Me either. There's one not too far from me, but I never ate there.
No, never had it.
Yeah,
and I was just in San Diego. When I was in San Diego, I saw it, never went to get it. I'm gonna try it again I'm gonna try it next year though. I'll let you know. Give me till July.
Yeah. So we have Sam hanging out, and she's like, "Look, just chill out here. Don't let anybody see you because everybody's looking for you. And I'm gonna go get us some food, right?" And he starts going through her like panties, and she's got like every size from like super large all the way down to like tiny.
First of all, can we talk about how when they were talking about their encounter, and he was like, no, they were talking about when he killed all those people. He said,
"Yeah,
I mean, he was a puppet when I did it."
Right.
So, I'm like, that doesn't make it better.
That doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it better, but I'm curious, does he see everyone as a puppet? Is that the way he sees the world, or does it only happen when he's like in his kill mode?
I think it's when I think said last episode when he's in like a heightened or emotional state or whatever.
Yeah,
that's when the puppets kick in. Because even when he was getting down with Emma,
that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
That was hilarious, but he was shocked by that.
He was watching like it's like watching Miss Piggy. Piggy on top. I was like, oh my god.
My thoughts went like this. I was like, oh, this is a sweet scene. Oh, things are getting heated. And here comes the shit.
Yeah. It's just like they I can guarantee you, okay, maybe I can't guarantee it because that sounds like I know more than I actually know. But I bet you there is an entire community that has this fetish about puppets.
Oh, there
probably is it? Okay. That scene probably plays rent free in their heads.
It's like a subset of furries.
Yeah. So we have that going on. I'm like, all right. So, so Feather says Sam seems to see other puppets due to anger, stress, and adrenaline. I also think it's his way to compartmentalize all the violence. Like I think he knows what he's doing, and he sees them as puppets because otherwise he'd be murdering people constantly, and it would probably, really fuck with his head. But he hears people screaming in the hallway. He goes out there, and it's like a dorm party going on. Like everybody's like using their powers and stuff, and so he's very excited about it. And then we see who is there.
I hate Rufus.
I was gonna say Rufy himself is there.
I hate him so much.
Wearing his MAGA hat. He was wearing a MAGA hat, by the way. I know it didn't say MAGA, but it was like an American flag on a red hat. And I was like, okay, so he's wearing a MAGA hat. So poor Sam, I can't believe I'm saying poor Sam because this guy murders people, but poor Sam is like completely outside of his social right. He murders people. Poor Sam. But Rufus is like, oh yeah, she's at the party we're going to, and he's like, oh okay.
Yes. He's like, she is. He's like, yeah, whatever. I said, Sam, oh my god, you just heard that, and you're still gonna go.
Yeah, she's there. Whatever, who cares? No, come on, this guy.
For all Sam knows, these people could be working for the Woods. He doesn't know anything about them. Exactly. I was like, wait a minute, come on.
Completely sheltered. He has no social cues or anything. So
right,
I saw this coming a mile away.
Then again, like Emma, you were gone for a very long time
to go.
It don't take that long to get
laundry.
Come on.
Look, did she come back with food?
Yeah, she had food, but she also had bags of groceries too. There was like bags of groceries in her hand and stuff or whatever. So
you went shopping.
Yeah. I mean, Uber Eats is a thing. Like you could have just ordered out and had them drop it off. Like that would have made it super easy.
Hiding in her closet. So.
Yeah, so playing with panties. But so he goes out there, he gets taken to this rally where Newman is at. And before we move on to that part, let's talk a little bit about like what's happening with the people getting sick. So we know that Shetty and what's the doctor's name?
I forgot.
Caspian.
I don't like him anyway. I'm just gonna say dude that Sam almost killed.
Yeah. So he's working with her, and they want to make this thing airborne, which is a bad fucking idea. By the way, look, I don't think there's any reality where making something airborne, like
it could mutate and start spread to regular
exactly.
people.
That's what I was just thinking. It could go.
That's what he was trying
to.
People. That's what he was trying to tell her. Like, you're
Cardosa.
Crazy. Like,
that's it. Cardosa. That's it. That's his name. I thought it was Caspian. What am I thinking of Caspian? But so he's like, no, we shouldn't be doing that. And so he wants to be a whistleblower. Yeah, exactly. He wants to be a whistleblower because he's like, we can't do that. We can use what we have to control people now. We don't need to make it airborne. But Shetty's like, no, I want to make it airborne.
Yeah, kill them all.
So
that lady read her like a book, I said, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So, but I
hate Shetty so much.
Because even because she knows about from Butcher's BS, so she's like, no, I've seen this before. This is going way too far.
Yeah. So then we have Marie and Jordan who are having relationship issues. Let's just move beyond that because
that happens every week. So
it does. Like I like the two of them together, but it is one of those things where I have friends that have those kinds of relationships where they're arguing for 5 minutes and then the next thing you see they're like hanging out and holding hands. Like I get it. So I'm not even going to get into that, but I like the two of them together, but let's move past that. So they go to the office to try and get information on her, and they find out that the reason why she's doing all this is the plane that Homelander was on that was brought down. I guess it's the one with him and Maeve from all the way back in the beginning of the series, had Shetty's husband and child on the plane, I believe. Was that right?
Yep.
And it's been covered up by Vought, obviously. And so that's why she's doing all of this, because she feels like she's trying to get back at them, get revenge on this. Look, I'm not going to say I don't understand her desire to like get back at them, because obviously that's exactly why a lot of people in the boys universe are doing what they're doing. I mean, Butcher's entire storyline has to do with like getting back at the Supes. So I get it. But committing genocide on all supers, I think, is a bit too far, even for the boys.
Yeah.
So they decide they need to talk to Newman, because Newman is doing like a little speech on campus, which is where Rufus ends up taking Sam to this like rally / town hall with Newman. Head exploding woman is what I like to call her. So he goes there, and it ends up being like this weird super alt-right.
Yeah, the alt-right pipeline.
For supers, which I was like, all right.
Super lives matter.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. Supers are just attacking other people and stuff like that.
Vision and stuff. Yeah. Killing each other. I said, aren't you all on the same side? Like, Jesus.
Right. So they have that going on, and the reason why Newman is there is because there's a side story with Polarity and Andre, which we don't see a lot of in the episode, where he was doing an interview and his powers freak out. He starts having seizures. I don't really know what that was, though. Is he infected with the thing, or is this something
I have
else?
no idea what's going on with him.
I think he just had a seizure to, you know, like they could have it, like, it could happen at any time. I don't even think that was a seizure. I think that was more along the lines of a stroke. But I think he just randomly had a stroke.
Yeah. Well, and either way, you know,
in doing that, he lost control of his powers.
Yeah, and Andre goes there to look after him because it's his father. And even though they've had issues, it seems to me like he's having a change of heart about his dad. The one thing I did have a question about is they were on campus. You mean there's no facilities to take care of supers that have medical needs on campus, and they have to go in a regular ambulance? I thought that was a little weird.
No. What I thought was weird was you guys clearly see on TV that his powers affected everything when he first started sneezing or the stroke, whatever it was. So you put him in a regular ambulance, and then you get shocked when he's destroying the ambulance.
I just feel like it's a little. I think it's a little weird. There wasn't any there wasn't any sort of facility to take care of supers that have medical needs because putting him in a regular ambulance, even if what if he had the power like Golden Boy or something? Like they're not equipped to take care of supers. So I thought that was a little strange. Anyway, so he ends up going to the hospital. It was kind of a way to get him away from the school while all this stuff was going down with Kate and everything and Shetty. But
do you think Andre,
yeah,
real quick, do you think since Andre was like, that just shows how powerful that Andre can get, because with
it's
his
like Magneto,
dad, literally, he was crushing the ambulance, and his dad, and he was like trying to fight back and push it back. Like Andre hasn't even tapped like the base of his power yet.
I like the idea of a Magneto type character. I think that's a lot of fun. So Marlon here says, I think the interviewer somehow caused a seizure so he could interview Newman. Maybe.
Maybe Newman caused a stroke because we know.
Newman could have caused it. Yeah, Newman could have caused it, but I don't know.
That's true.
Let's get into that though. So Marie and Jordan use a distraction to get into this this town hall.
That distraction was hilarious because Jordan was.
So and the people were live streaming, and I'm like, this is reality. Like that's what would happen. Like people would be standing there.
I'm surprised. So when they call out World Star or whatever their equivalent it is,
Vought Star.
But they get into the town hall, and Newman meets Marie, and she's like, I really want to talk with you. And at that point, I'm like, wait a minute, dick exploding, head exploding. So I thought they must have almost identical powers. The fact that Marie could see Compound V in her blood was crazy. I was like, all right, that's really cool. Keep in mind that we've wondered if Newman was powerful enough to beat someone like Homelander, and I truly believe she is. I think Newman and Marie are both extremely powerful. Blood bending is almost like
it works in Avatar.
I mean, the only thing you can do is catch them off guard. If you can catch them off guard, you can probably beat them. But if they're aware of what's going on, there's nothing you can do. Unless you can mind control them. Like someone like Rufus could probably do something, or Kate. But
you gotta go through other ways. To
people like Homelander that are just brute force is not going to work.
Yeah. Kate can definitely do something. She did it at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to that too. Yeah. So we find that out. She tells Newman about the woods and the virus, and Newman's like, I'll take care of it. And she does, because she contacts the Professor Cardosa and has him bring the samples to her. And
he's such a goofy. He is such a goofy.
Yeah, he is. Look, the minute he was there, I was like, he's dead.
Yeah. Empty parking lot, nobody else around, and you didn't find that suspicious, dude?
If someone asks you're standing there with just her, and she goes, does anybody know you're here? Does anybody else know about this? And you go, no.
And he's smiling the whole time. No.
You should be like, yeah, my first cousin who lives in Los Angeles knows about it. Maybe I should go take care of that before you kill me. You know what I mean? Like, why would you say that? Anyway, so she gets that from it, which, by the way, I don't think that's all the samples. I think there's more samples somewhere. That's why
they got some story.
Something else is going on, because there's no way that's all of them. So anyway, she gets the samples from him, and then she kills him, obviously. So I believe that's the lead up to season 4 of The Boys. I believe that's going to lead into season 4 of The Boys, to be completely honest. But then we go back to the team where Shetty, Kate's there with Shetty. And at first I thought that she had won Kate over.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that way about it? Like, I thought she had won her over.
Yep. I was like, well, there it is. They're going to collude with each other.
And so when the team shows up and she's like, they go in or whatever, and she starts talking to them about what she's done and what she knows, I'm like, where's the catch? What's the catch here? Because clearly Kate has turned on them. And I've got a theory about this, but I'm going to finish this, what happened here, so we can jump into it. So she has Shetty kill herself all in front of everybody.
Yeah, that was gross.
And won't let them save her. And that's kind of where we end with that team.
I
I'm
felt
wondering,
so bad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Marie, because she said, I know this reminds you of your mom. You're crazy. Why would you say that?
There's one of two things going on here. One is Kate truly is with the team and she was getting revenge on Shetty. That's the number one thing, because Sam was on board with it too, which, by the way, he doesn't like Kate. So now he likes her because he's like, oh, she put revenge on somebody that wanted to like do harmful things to me, and to supers in general. The other theory is that everything they saw was an illusion, because Shetty told Kate she had one last push. And I'm wondering if when everybody walked into the house where the door was cracked, that they're seeing things, that Shetty is not actually dead. That she looks dead to them because that's what she wanted Kate to show them. Because Kate's mental powers are extremely powerful.
Shit.
You just blew my mind, bro.
Maybe we're thinking a little. Maybe you're thinking a little too much about this, but you're not wrong.
I think that Shetty wants to work in the shadows and doesn't want to be public anymore. And the best way to do that is to...
Yeah, if you're dead.
Right. Now, the only way for that to not be real is if the news reports on her die. Like if we pick up with next episode and Shetty's death is public knowledge, then we'll know that it's not true.
Yeah.
However, if the news does not talk, or people don't talk about her missing or whatever on the news, with no body, no death. Remember, like if you don't see a body, there's no death. So unless they discover her dead body, then Kate's lying to everybody. That's a possibility, because she did tell Kate they needed one more push, and when they came in, her eye was already red, which makes me believe that, if you remember correctly, the last time her eyes were red was when she was pushing herself too hard. So having to mind control 5 people,
yeah, it's probably
was really pushing it too hard for her. Yeah. And Andre wasn't there, which leaves one person who was not affected by her. Because if he would have been there, they would have all been there, and you can go, okay, yeah, maybe it happened. But Andre not being there tells me that there's something else going on.
You're a genius. You know that? You're a genius. I did not think, like, honestly, I did not think about that, because one, I wanted Shetty dead. We're talking about the TV show YouTube. I do not like that lady. Her plan is terrible. I get you lost your people, but mass genocide is never the answer. But I just thought Kate and Sam were just crazy. So I
think that Kate did it, honestly. Okay, so Naruto here with the $10 super chat and a Team Airrick member. We're going to do this and wrap up our discussion on Gen V. It says, my thought process after that bombshell on Gen V. Plane. Oh, the plane from season 1 of The Boys. That plane wasn't expecting connection way back to season 1. My mind was reeling. I'm going to say this right now, except for a couple of minor things that I sort of nitpick. The Boys' writing, for the most part, has been really solid, and they do a really good job of tying everything together. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't have to pull back on anything. Like, they can do whatever they want on these shows.
Yeah, it's almost like South Park. It's like they could just go balls to the wall. Kind of the same thing that South Park has been doing for the past 30 years. Just going straight balls to the wall. If they complain about it, screw them. Who cares? Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Someone gets mad, so what?
Right now, you guys know they've greenlit a second season of Gen V, so we're going to get a second season. I have to say, I've heard arguments that this season of Gen V is better than the last season of The Boys.
I would not disagree with that.
I agree wholeheartedly. I love the show.
I think there's something interesting about the setting of this whole school that's also like a underground bunker. Everything is like,
this is school. We're supposed to learn to be heroes. Like, no. This is an experiment. You are all the subjects. We're watching y'all to see what y'all do. Which
I had thought about, like in the second episode, I'm like, clearly Godolkin is some sort of cover up for something. And to find out that is what's happening, that they are being studied like mice in a cage, makes total sense to me. So for me, like them tying stuff back, it's amazing. And I think it's really smart because the show sometimes leaves questions that we don't even realize are questions. Like the plane situation. We thought that Vought had covered that up. And they did, but we thought we were never going to have to even go back to that again because Queen Maeve is gone. All that.
Everyone's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone was threatening Homelander with, we're going to release it. We're going to tell people that you did this. We're going to tell them. Even Maeve was like, I will tell people that you did this. And even Homelander was like, do it. Right. Go ahead, do it, bitch. Do it.
Yeah.
And it just never comes out. So now so we pretty much thought like, okay, that whole thing is just done, situated. We're not going to hear about it again until now.
Well, the other thing about the whole Kate and Shetty thing is they did a really good job of showing us that Kate's powers are expanding and she wasn't taking her medication. So she didn't need to touch everybody to mind control them. So that was another thing where I was like, all they have to do is walk into the room and she can control them.
Yeah, I just thought of that too. Yeah, medication. He's like, did you take your meds? He's like, no, that was dumbing down her powers. Now that she's off of them, they're probably coming into full fruition now.
So if the super flu is the plot of season 4, what will be the plot of season 2? I think just the woods in general.
Yeah.
I think the woods will be the plot of season 2. I think that we're going to be dealing with characters from the woods that are going to get out. And I think they're going to have to move away from the school, most likely.
Mm-hmm. They're probably going to be like on a run, kind of like how the boys are in the main show. Right.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know though. I do believe the super flu is going to be the plot of season 4 of The Boys. Though.
Oh yeah,
I truly believe that's what that's going to be.
I can already see the conflict there. Like Huey, MM, and Frenchie and Kimiko probably be like, "No, we got to destroy this." Butcher's like, "I don't know, a bug that can kill fucking soups." I'm all for it.
And then we also still have to deal with he's dying anyway. So
yeah.
Lone Wolf here, $5 super chat goes, this has been my favorite episode so far this season. The finale is called X-Men.
Really?
Also think we'll get any major cameo Butcher Homelander. I don't know. I mean, I honestly think Homelander would be the most likely cameo, but I don't know. Was there any rumors of him filming on set or anything like that?
None that I've heard of. I mean, I don't really keep up with a lot of stuff, but I haven't really I haven't really heard of anything like that.
Well, I will say this. I think we're going to see some death in that finale.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting close to the end now. Who's expendable to everyone? Who do we think is going to be killed off in the finale? And
Rufus.
Why? I think Rufus is dead.
I think he's only on the show because of his ties to Supernatural. So I think Rufus dies.
Okay.
I think Rufus dies a horrible death screaming Jumanji.
As much as I hate it, I still believe that the most emotional characters that could die that would like set people off would either be Emma or Kate.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Emma dies, then that would set Sam off, obviously.
Yeah, Emma dies, I'm a riot.
And I think a lot of fans would too. But they've never shied away from killing off fan favorites on The Boys. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably be Sam and Emma, which I hope not. But
another person could die is Kate. I think if they killed off Kate, most people wouldn't have an issue with that. But I honestly, after this week's episode, I want to see where Kate's powers go, like where her story goes.
I don't want to see anyone die, but they're going to. That's the point. They're going to kill off either a fan. Well, actually, maybe not do that. Just because Game of Thrones did it. And
people saying Sam or Emma. Hell's Bell says Andre or Kate. I don't know when the next season of The Boys comes out. Probably the end of next year, if I had to guess. The end of 2024. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited about the finale, and we have 2 weeks left of Loki. So we'll have 1 week of the stream where we're just going to be talking about Loki, and we'll probably come up with some other topics to fill in the gaps there. But anyway, that is where we're going to wrap everything up. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Omega giving us his Halloween costume there. I'm actually dressing up as Ken tonight. I might take a picture of it, put it on social media. We'll see. And Lance down there has got to take his monitor to get it fixed. So
wish me luck.
Hey, do you have Apple Care?
No, but I have my phone glitched and deleted Apple Care. Yeah. But I have a limited warranty. So
okay, you might be good.
It expires in February.
I'll probably do a separate thing for Invincible, but there will be separate streams most likely.
Ooh, Invincible does start next week.
Yeah, it does start next week. Okay. So anybody wants to join for that, we'll do something. I want to do like streams dedicated just to animation. So I'll probably start those up after Invincible comes out.
Just give me a time and date.
Yeah. Anyway, but you can catch what day is your stream on this week? Is it always? Did you move it around, or is it still going to be on Tuesday?
No, it's still going to be Tuesdays. It's just going to be shorter, kind of like an hour like this.
Okay.
It's
All
gonna be
right. Well,
shorter.
thank you guys for hanging out. Have a good Halloween weekend. I've got to go to work early, so that's why I'm ending the stream a little quicker than normal. But thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, Omega. Thank you, Geek Drums Lance, for being here. Have fun. Be safe for Halloween. If you're gonna go out and drink responsibly, or stay home and drink irresponsibly, whichever one works for you. And if you are gonna drink irresponsibly, use a ride share. Like definitely, and don't throw up in their car. Okay, do not do that. So anyway, we're out. See everybody later.